Is Khamzat Chimaev the new face of the UFC? The UFC has always been a star-driven organization, with fighters like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and Jon Jones transcending the sport and becoming cultural icons. These stars not only put the UFC on the map, but also set a high bar for the next generation of fighters hoping to fill their shoes. In recent years, the promotion has been on the lookout for its next big star, someone with the charisma, dominance, and fan appeal to become the face of the organization. One name that has repeatedly emerged in this conversation is Khamzat Chimaev. But is Chimaev truly the new face of the UFC? Let's dive into his meteoric rise, his fighting skills, his marketability, and the challenges he faces in achieving such a lofty status. Chimaev burst onto the UFC scene in 2020, immediately turning heads with his unparalleled dominance and unrelenting pace. Within a span of just 66 days, Chimaev fought 3 times, winning all of his bouts in devastating fashion. His first 2 fights, against John Phillips and Rhys McKee, showcased his versatility and overwhelming grappling skills. In those bouts, Chimaev absorbed a total of just 2 strikes, an almost unheard-of statistic in modern MMA. His third UFC appearance, a 17-second knockout of Gerald Meerschaert, solidified Chimaev as a fighter to watch. The quick finish not only demonstrated his striking power, but also sent a clear message to the rest of the roster. Chimaev is a threat everywhere the fight goes. Fans and analysts were quick to draw comparisons to other UFC greats, with some even anointing him as the next big thing in the sport. Chimaev's rapid rise wasn't just about his in-cage performances. His confident personality, broken yet charming English, and willingness to fight anyone, anywhere, at any time endeared him to fans worldwide. Nicknamed Boars, which means wolf in Chechen, Chimaev embodied the relentless, fearless spirit that fans crave in a fighter. Fighting style: a blueprint for dominance. At the heart of Chimaev's appeal is his unique and dominant fighting style. A high-level wrestler with a background in freestyle wrestling and sambo, Chimaev has seamlessly blended his grappling expertise with powerful striking. His ability to close the distance, secure takedowns, and impose his will on opponents has drawn comparisons to fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov. However, unlike Khabib, who relied heavily on ground and pound and submission threats, Chimaev has shown a more diverse striking arsenal. His 17-second knockout of Meerschaert highlighted his one-punch power, while his war with Gilbert Burns at UFC 273 showcased his durability and ability to brawl in the pocket against elite competition. Chimaev's cardio is another weapon in his arsenal. He maintains a frenetic pace that breaks opponents mentally and physically. Whether he's chaining takedowns or pressuring with strikes, Chimaev forces his opponents to fight at a pace they're uncomfortable with. This relentless style, combined with his finishing ability, makes him a must-watch fighter. Marketability, the star power factor. Being the face of the UFC requires more than just exceptional fighting skills. It demands charisma, marketability, and the ability to connect with fans across the globe. Chimaev checks many of these boxes. The international appeal, born in Chechnya and raised in Sweden, Chimaev has a unique background that resonates with fans from different regions. He's embraced by the Russian and Muslim communities for his Chechen roots, while his success in Sweden has made him a beloved figure in Scandinavia. This dual identity gives Chimaev a broad international fan base, similar to how Khabib Nurmagomedov united fans from various parts of the world. Personality and trash talk. Chimaev's personality is another significant factor in his rise. He strikes a balance between being respectful and engaging in trash talk, often calling out multiple fighters at once. His famous phrase,
"I come in for everybody,
has become a catchphrase among MMA fans, capturing his confidence and no-nonsense approach. Unlike some fighters who rely on over-the-top antics, Chimaev's charisma feels organic. He's not trying to be Conor McGregor or Chael Sonnen. He's simply being himself. This authenticity resonates with fans and sets him apart in a sport where manufactured personas often fall flat. Social media presence. In today's digital age, a strong social media presence is crucial for building a fan base. Chimaev has embraced platforms like Instagram and Twitter, frequently interacting with fans and posting training updates. His posts, which often feature him training with teammates like Darren Till, showcase his work ethic and playful side, further endearing him to fans. Challenges on the path to stardom. While Chimaev has all the tools to become the face of the UFC, there are significant challenges he must overcome to reach that level. Competition in the welterweight and middleweight divisions. Chimaev has expressed interest in competing at both welterweight and middleweight, but these divisions are stacked with elite fighters. At welterweight, the likes of Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, and Kamaru Usman present formidable challenges. At middleweight, Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, and Sean Strickland are no easy tasks either. To solidify his status as a superstar, Chimaev will need to consistently defeat top-ranked opponents and claim UFC gold. His razor-thin decision win against Gilbert Burns showed he's beatable, and elite fighters will undoubtedly be studying his weaknesses. Health and weight-cutting issues. One of the biggest concerns surrounding Chimaev's career is his ability to make weight. In his scheduled welterweight bout against Nate Diaz at UFC 279, Chimaev missed weight by a staggering 7.5 pounds, forcing the UFC to reshuffle the card. While he dominated Kevin Holland in the catchweight bout that followed, the weight miss raised questions about his discipline and ability to compete at 170 pounds long-term. Additionally, Chimaev's battle with COVID-19 in 2021 temporarily derailed his momentum. The virus's severe effects on his lungs led to a brief retirement scare, though he ultimately returned stronger than ever. Maintaining his health and managing weight cuts will be crucial if Chimaev hopes to achieve sustained success. Charisma versus controversy. While Chimaev's confidence and aggression have won him fans, they've also led to occasional backlash. His post-fight antics, such as taunting opponents or calling out multiple fighters at once, can come across as arrogant to some. Balancing his brash persona with humility will be key to maintaining widespread appeal. Comparisons to past UFC superstars. To determine whether Chimaev can be the face of the UFC, it's worth comparing him to past superstars like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Conor McGregor. McGregor's rise was fueled by his unparalleled charisma, trash-talking ability, and spectacular knockouts. While Chimaev lacks McGregor's gift of gab, his dominance and unique personality give him a different kind of appeal. Ronda Rousey. Rousey's reign as the face of the UFC was built on her dominance and status as a trailblazer for women's MMA. Chimaev, while dominant, competes in already established divisions, making it harder to stand out in the same way. Khabib Nurmagomedov. The most direct comparison, Khabib's dominance, humility, and connection to the Muslim community made him a global superstar. Chimaev shares many of these traits, but adds a more aggressive and outspoken edge, which could broaden his appeal. The UFC's role in building Chimaev. Ultimately, the UFC plays a significant role in determining who becomes its next face. The promotion has already shown a willingness to fast-track Chimaev, giving him high-profile matchups and significant media attention. If he continues to win in dominant fashion, the UFC will undoubtedly position him as one of its marquee stars. Chimaev's versatility, his ability to compete in two divisions, and his willingness to fight frequently makes him an ideal candidate for the UFC to build around. However, the promotion must carefully manage his career, ensuring he's given the right matchups and opportunities to shine. Conclusion: the potential is there. Khamzat Chimaev has all the ingredients to become the new face of the UFC. A dominant fighting style, international appeal, and a personality that captures fans' attention. However, the road to superstardom is fraught with challenges, from elite competition to weight-cutting concerns. Whether Chimaev can reach the heights of past UFC superstars remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: he's already one of the most exciting and talked-about fighters in the sport. If he can stay healthy, continue winning, and capture UFC gold, there's no limit to what he can achieve. For now, the MMA world will be watching closely as Boers continues his quest for greatness.